Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we have done it. We have reached the season finale, 2 parts, episodes 9 and 10. But where are my manners? Hello everyone, welcome to my media center. My name is Kiefer, and today we review the 2-part season finale of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. The show has been certainly spectacular. It has kept me hooked each episode, and it hasn't had a bad episode yet either. Even if a certain voice actor did say some incredibly stupid things that a showrunner tried to defend, that didn't stop my hype for the show to start. It lived up to my hype and surpassed it 100 times over. I'm gonna stop yapping and talk about the show now, so let's get into it with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Season 1, Episode 9, Hero or Menace. We open up with Doc Ock reading the Sokovia Accords in jail when he gets a visitor. Norman Osborn is here to gloat about getting him arrested, and we find out Norman struck a deal to get all of Otto's tech he had. Everything Otto worked for after leaving Oscorp is now Norman Osborn's. Otto gets dragged away by the guards after smashing the glass with his phone, and we go to the police cleaning out Otto's warehouse. 110th Street Gang is there too, even though Tombstone is very apprehensive. They take out the cops and go to steal the tech. Spider-Man is there to stop them, however, and saves Nico in the process. It's time to see the classic suit in action. Let's go! Spider-Man webs up a couple gang members. When he sees Lonnie, he tries to talk Lonnie away, but almost gets stabbed by Scorpion. He brought his gang too. It's time for gang warfare, this time featuring Spider-Man. A brawl ensues in the streets of New York, and Spider-Man almost has a panic attack seeing Scorpion. He has PTSD from their last encounter. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the jar of panic attacking animation. I even pitched my own. Go check out my Incredibles 3 video. But when Scorpion pins down Don and is about to murder him, Don says he quits. Scorpion doesn't care, but Don is saved last second by Spider-Man. Don is not the same after this. He runs away to a car and leaves 110th Street Gang to die. Lonnie sees this and steps up, Tombstone giving commands and avoiding being stabbed. Tombstone gets into the truck of Otto's tech and knocks over a blue capsule in the process. Blue smoke fills the truck and Lonnie collapses to the ground. Spider-Man and Scorpion's fight this time around is very different. Spider-Man isn't quipping, that being mentioned by Scorpion, and this is very important. The show has done a phenomenal job of showing Spider-Man quipping during every single one of his encounters. But to me, Spider-Man is at his scariest and most dangerous when he is silent, or when he breaks into prison as Peter Parker and bitches out Kingpin. But anyway, Lonnie falls out of the truck and Spider-Man goes to pick him up. Tombstone rises when Scorpion stabs him. His tail breaks. Tombstone's skin is impenetrable, and now he has super strength. I am not ready to see this man become a villain. Tombstone and Spider-Man team up to kick Scorpion's ass. The double team move scene, Tombstone gets revenge on Scorpion, and Spider-Man overcome his fear is magnificent. However, at the end when Scorpion drops metal beams from a nearby construction site onto Tombstone, Spider-Man loses it. He wails on Scorpion, the words of Norman Osborn echoing in his mind. He leaves him bloody, much like how Scorpion left him, and when he goes to use Scorpion's tail against him, Scorpion's own tail against him, and stab him, Tombstone stops him. He tells Spider-Man people look up to him, and not to be like Scorpion. Spider-Man stands down, and 110 leaves before the cops show up. The first 20 minutes of this episode was the best the show has maybe had. Everything came together in this mixing pot of greatness. Look, if you're just listening to my reviews of the show and haven't seen it for yourself, I urge you to please go find this show. And we continue that greatness with Nico and Peter catching up in an alley. The two make up and everything's back to business as usual, Peter saying no more secrets as he swings away, and Nico looks at her necklace. We catch up then with the Parker family, Peter and May, watching The Bachelor when Norman calls Peter. He thanks Peter, saying he wishes Oscorp had 100 Spider-Man. Peter also says something important here. He acknowledges that he almost went too far. And when it seems like he maybe is about to quit, Norman reassures him, keeping Peter slightly under his thumb. We stay with Norman, however. Norman has a meeting with all of his science team, and we're going to focus on Whitman here. Whitman got a blood sample of Peter when he was beaten and bloodied in Oscorp the other day, in the previous episode, and he injected that blood into a spider. Oscorp is trying to create more Spider-Man, this reveal ending the episode. A crazy ending to a 9 out of 10 episode. I'm not the biggest fan of there potentially being more spider people in the show. I think too many Spider-Man shows focus on having every character having spider powers, and I was hoping for this show to be different. And that point echoes especially clear today. We got art of Spider-Gwen and Gwen Stacy for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. So we're already bringing in Spider-Gwen, or Ghost Spider, into the show, whatever you want to call her. I'm not one of the people that hate Gwen Stacy or the Ghost Spider, Spider-Gwen. She hasn't had the best comics, which doesn't help her reputation either, but a lot of people feel like she is getting forced down our throats in recent Spider-Man media. Now, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite movie of all time. Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 was also spectacular. Who knows if we're even gonna get Part 2? And Gwen Stacy in that movie was amazing. I could do with seeing a little less of her in recent Spider-Man media. I just hope she has a good portrayal in season 2. However, rant aside, it far from kills this episode. However, I am incredibly excited for the next and final episode of the season. So, let's get into it. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Season 1, Episode 10, the season finale, If This Be My Destiny. Man, the intro with the classic suit hits like coke in the 90s. This episode opens up with the school announcements, and we find out the school lost the finals of the football season, and next season, they'll be looking for multiple positions, including a quarterback. Peter's also late to class because he is helping someone get their stolen car back. Pearl is losing it, waiting for Peter, so Nico excitedly volunteers to go first and present her project. This being very unlike her, but it's nice to see her helping out Peter. Peter gets there just in time after Nico gives an extra long presentation, with the project he was swinging around broken, obviously. Shockingly, Amelia, who ditched on Pearl and Peter in an earlier episode, gives the presentation perfectly. Pearl, after that, calls Peter for the first time, not Petey. Their bond growing ever stronger. We get to the interns at Oscorp, Amadeus bragging about his 5.0 GPA when Norman and Dr. Connor show up. He has a major surprise for the group. He put together all their project into one big thing, Project Monolith. He made a portal that can open anywhere in space. Every single intern, apart from Amadeus, is horrified. They think this idea is awful, and they are upset that they didn't know about it. They're worried about the dangers of another portal opening. And they didn't know this is what their projects were being used for. Dr. Connors didn't even know. Norman wants to harvest resources. And says if people like Thor can, why can't he just show up in a portal? Which, I mean, semi-fair point. And when Norman goes to open the portal, Doctor Strange shows up. Strange wants to stop Norman, and the two get into a screaming match. Norman has a security team use sound waves to take down Doctor Strange and open the portal up. The symbiote from episode 1 comes through the portal, and the fight is on. Everyone runs away. When Peter's alone, he becomes Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man and Doctor Strange versus the symbiote. The fight, as usual, is immaculate stuff. They even fight in space for a small part. Doctor Strange opens up a portal to get him back home, and they get him through the portal, but end up in the wrong location. Another world incredibly similar to this one we see on TV. We see the same scene play out from episode 1, including Oscorp Spider going through and biting Peter. However, when they get the symbiote through the right portal, piece of symbiote gets through and swims way out of sight. Spider-Man destroys the portal, and we cut to Peter, Harry, and Nico hanging out. They're watching the news and talking about Oscorp. Nico even gives Harry the idea of breaking away from Oscorp and his father, starting his own company and bringing in young and hungry scientists and giving them the freedom to create whatever they want to do. Peter says he doesn't even fully trust Norman anymore, so Harry does it. But more on that later. Spider-Man and Strange are chatting on top of a crane. Strange is disappointed that he got to the wrong location and altered the course of that world's history. But Spider-Man says if he didn't do that for him, then he wouldn't be Spider-Man. And he says things are going to happen the way that they're going to happen. And at the end of their conversation, Spider-Man asks Doctor Strange if he has seen his future. Strange says he is ready for what's going to come next, and he leaves. We then see Norman going back to Oscorp and discovering the symbiote left behind. I wonder where that's going to lead. I'm kind of really excited about it. Now, it's a montage time. We see Harry sending out invites to people and the logo for his brand new company, the Worldwide Engineering Brigade, aka WEB. We see people accepting it, Amadeus rejecting it, deciding to stay with Oscorp, and then Jean with Daredevil. We found out Daredevil sent her to Oscorp to investigate Norman Osborn, and she's going to do the same with Harry. The pair running on rooftops away. Even Lonnie was invited, and he decides to join. And when he drives away the bulldozer and another 110 member, he ditches his Letterman jacket in the process. Also, his fingertips are turning gray. I wonder what that could be leading to. We also see Nico in a room full of candles, and she places her necklace in the middle of a carpet. She reads from a book, her necklace lighting up purple, illuminating the sky. And she says, "It's good to see you again, Mom." Next, Otto in jail, still with his sunglasses on, creating the design for this next set of robot arms. Lastly, Aunt May meeting with someone in jail. That someone being Peter Parker's father. And the end of the episode was Spider-Man swinging through the streets of New York City. The final episode of the season is a 9 out of 10. What a season. This show blew my expectations out of the water with each episode, and the setup for the next season is amazing. The hype is real and I cannot wait. I will be doing one more video on the show ranking every single episode of the season, so you can expect that video soon. As of right now, this is my second favorite Spider-Man show of all time, right behind Spectacular Spider-Man. However, with the way the show is going, it could be number one. With some polish on the backgrounds and animation, this show could become the dream Spider-Man show for many viewers. I also hope they can replace Spider-Man's voice actor, but that's wishful thinking. But thank you for watching. I have been Kiefer. I hope to see you next time. Check out the description, follow my socials, follow the Twitch, I stream 3 times a week, buy the merch, and don't forget to stay hydrated. Man, I love Spider-Man.